Perfect. 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 The Philadelphia 76ers absolutely dominate the Washington Wizards in Game 2 by a final score of 120-95. The Sixers now lead the series 2-0 and are looking very bright as we head into the next few games. And any basketball wizard out there who's saying this is going to go 6 and this is going to go 7 games should honestly have their basketball rights revoked. What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome back to Philly Take with RB. You know what to do. Smash the like, hit the subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way you're always notified when I upload or go live. We did hit 10,000 subscribers and 2 million channel views last night during our play-by-play live stream. I appreciate every single one of you for all the continued support. So thank you, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. But hey, man, we have to start with this one. It was pure domination, pure bliss. And you know where I have to start, man. Benjamin David Simmons, man. Round of applause. Ben Simmons. This is exactly what we envision when we think about Ben Simmons on a title team. When we think about Ben Simmons on this team, man, I mean, what a game from Ben Simmons. Aggressive, taking care of mismatches. I didn't see, honestly, 1 or 2 times, maybe more than that, where Ben Simmons didn't take the defender in front of him, because we know, and we've said it all year, when Ben Simmons plays downhill like this, when he plays aggressive and he takes these mismatches, there is literally no stopping him. Ben Simmons putting up 22 points, 11 for 15 from the field, had like 8 shot attempts in the first quarter. He finishes with 9 rebounds, 8 assists, close to that triple-double, but he didn't play later on in the game. 2 steals and a block. This was absolutely amazing. The defense was there. The facilitating was there, but he was aggressive. And when we get this Ben Simmons, I'm telling you, and we get this kind of Tobias and Joel that we'll talk about in a second, this team is really, really hard to stop, man. But honestly, after all the noise, after all the critics talking about him going with 6 points in game 1, he heard it, he came out, and he responded. And this is the typical Ben Simmons. And, you know, I wasn't really mad about him in game 1. The only thing I said was the free throw shooting. He was 0 for 6. Now, he didn't go to the line at all. But in 29 minutes to put up 22 points, he came out and did his thing. There is no complaint. There is nothing about Ben Simmons. This is the exact Ben Simmons that we want to see on a daily basis. And now, you know, instead of getting mad at people like me sometimes when we want to see this every night, again, it's been put on the showcase now. It's here. So we want to see this every night, because when we see this every night, and sure, some nights you're going to have more assists, more rebounds like he did in game 1. I wasn't mad about that. But when we get this version of Ben Simmons, I'm talking about going downhill, Euro, slamming it down. I mean, looking to attack, especially because early on in this game, Joel Embiid was getting a lot of double teams, and Ben took it upon himself, and Joel talked about it after the game. He said, Ben, you got to be more aggressive. And Ben took a hold of it and literally played how we know we can, now how we know he can, and he was just absolutely dominant. Benjamin Simmons really led this team from an early point in this game and did not look back. Flawless game out of Ben Simmons, man. I'm entirely happy, and I want to see this more and more. Joel Embiid finishes with 22 points, 8 for 12 from the field. By the way, our best three-point shooter last night, 3 for 4 from long range. 7 rebounds and 3 assists. Joel Embiid saw a lot of double team action. Like I said, even saw a couple triple teams, and he was getting attacked. And what did he do? I thought Joel was great in passing out of the double teams, finding the shooters. You know, Joel Embiid was amazing. And honestly, my kind of points of this game are the Sixers shot, 43% from long range, 9 for 21. It was like 53% in the first half. And the Washington Wizards shot 9% from long range, 2 for 22. The Sixers were finding their spots on the floor, Joel passing out of the double teams and hitting shots. And our defense locked in when we needed to. I thought our defense was a bit slow to start. It was a bit slow at times. Bradley Beal got going, which we'll talk about. But overall, again, the common theme with this team is when your defense needs to lock in, they do. For these stretches, when they need to make a stop, they can clamp up. And I'm really excited for what I'm seeing, man. And it gives me hope against some of these better teams in the Eastern Conference. defense. But back to Joel Embiid. I thought he had a great game. It was a bit quiet for Joel, but, you know, getting the and one, driving, fouled by Lopez. He's air humping the ground. He's standing in the middle of the Wells Fargo, just absolutely roaring, getting pumped up, hyping up the crowd. It's pure Joel, man. This guy on and off the floor is literally a gem, man, and he is our anchor. And I thought he responded really well because the Wizards said, all right, we're going to take you out of it. What is everyone else going to do? And again, Ben stepped up, Joel stepped up, and then Tobias Harris had a quiet 19 points, 9 for 13, a big first half. Thank God Tobias is all right, as well as Seth Curry. Tobias obviously went out with the ankle injury, and so did Seth, but they came back. They are okay, and they're going to continue to write that big old story for us, man. But, man, Tobias Harris, 19, 9, and 1 with a steal, a quiet 9 for 13 from the field. But again, when we needed a bucket and just, you know, stacking up our points in the first half, Tobias Harris had a pretty good half. He was in rhythm, doing his thing. And look, if we get this 19, 20, 22 every game out of Tobias, it's exactly what we need as a second or third option. And Tobias is great. And I've said this 10 times in the stream last night, and I'll say it again. When Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid all play like this, we are a hard team to stop given our defensive capability. There's people that want to write this team. It doesn't matter. When these three play like this, they absolutely led the charge last night, and I know it's against the Wizards, who honestly are not that good of a team, like I had said before the series. When these three play like this, though, when they're aggressive, playing downhill, being aggressive, finding guys, and doing their thing, we are a hard team to stop. And these three, this is the formula right here. They were absolutely amazing. The Sixers shot 43% from long range. They had more rebounds. They just played more physical. And honestly, the main story of the game, it's crazy because I didn't think our defense started out too flawless. The Wizards had almost 60 in the first half. But how about 10 steals and 14 blocks for the Philadelphia 76ers? 10 steals and 14 blocks. That's what I'm talking about when our defense needs to step up. They do, and they put the absolute clamps on this team. It was beautiful. Danny Green only went 1 for 2 from long range. Seth Curry was 1 for 4 from long range. They didn't have their best games, but see what we've been talking about. When the shooters are not on, who's going to step up and be aggressive? I'll tell you who did. Ben, Tobias, and Joe. When all three of them are aggressive, and even when our shooters aren't on. Because imagine a game last night and say Danny Green or Seth hit a couple more threes. This team is going to be really hard to stop. It was beautiful, man. But I love the aggression. I love the pace. Taking the mismatches, drop steps in the post, slamming it down, screaming. All right, Ben Simmons was taking advantage of Davis Bertans, that scrub. Okay, he's a scrub. $80 million. He had no points and got fouled out. Okay, he got fouled out earlier in the game. It's absolutely crazy, but taking advantage of these mismatches. And that was that. The bench came in. It got so bad at this point, the Sixers pulled off and never looked back. I think in the third quarter, we were on some ridiculous run. The Wizards could not score a point. Obviously, Westbrook went out with the injury. Bradley Beal was the only one that really got his. 14 for 28, 33 points. But again, what did I say in the preview video before the series? When you take one of them out, and the other one can do his thing, let him do his thing. That's what Bradley Beal did. It is not enough. This is why I preach the Sixers having a deep team. This is why depth is important. The Wizards, outside of those two, do not have anyone. Hachimura, Lopez, Bertans, Alex Len, Raul Neto. They all stink. This is why the Sixers have this series in the bag. They should win it easily. And honestly, I'd picked it in 5, but honestly, it might turn into a sweep. That's how bad it has been for the Wizards. But yeah, we let Bradley Beal have his. I still thought we played all right on him. He was just hitting good shots because he's a really good player. And Westbrook went 2 for 10. I know he got banged up later on, but the 11 assists, the 6 rebounds, this is why I say, I'm never going to take anything away from him individually, but he's just not, he doesn't translate to wins anymore. He doesn't have the shot. It doesn't translate to wins. And that's just how it is, man. That's just how it is. That's pretty much how this game went. The cleanup crew came in for the Sixers, right? I mean, we saw Mike Scott, we saw Anthony Tolliver, but I liked guys like Paul Reed getting some run. I like guys like Isaiah Joe finally cracking into a playoff game. They didn't get a lot under their belt. But yeah, man, the bench did their job too. George Hill with another great game, 7 points, 2 for 5 from the field, handling the floor, facilitating. I like George Hill, and I thought he did what he had to in this game. Dwight Howard, 11 rebounds in this one. He was really establishing himself down low. These guys, Hutchinson and Gafford, they cannot compete with Dwight. Dwight getting the crowd up. I love the energy. That's another takeaway, is it the energy, the pace we're playing at. Like, even just right out of the gate, you can just feel how we are playing right now. The crowd is going crazy, man. It's so beautiful to see, and we waited for this. We waited for a long time, and we're a 1 seed, still being slept on, taking care of our business. The two guys I must talk about, Tyrese Maxey and Matisse Thybulle. Tyrese Maxey, 10 points off the bench, creating the spark, 2 rebounds and a couple assists. Tyrese Maxey's amazing, man. And Shake Milton was 0 for 6 in this game. The one dark spot of this game was Shake Milton. The only guy that didn't show up, 0 for 6. I mean, what is wrong with Shake Milton? 14 minutes. Look, I'm not going to complain about it too much because it was a beautiful win. But 0 for 6, what is wrong with Shake? And again, Doc Rivers came out, and I was a little bit skeptical because in game 1 it worked, right? He didn't bring in the all-bench lineup. This game he did at the end of the first quarter. He did early in the fourth quarter, and I was a bit skeptical because, you know, why not stick with what worked in game 1? But he comes out. The all-bench lineup didn't do that well to begin with. They did okay. They kind of floated above water. But in the fourth quarter, keeping that all-bench lineup in was very, very key. It allowed our starters to essentially sit the fourth quarter, and they got well-needed extended rest, man. And that is huge, not just in this series, but going forward into the next couple series. And we have a couple days off. So getting our starters some rest was great. Our bench unit played great later on. Again, Tyrese Maxey, I think, has to take Shake Milton's minutes at this point. He's just playing too well. He looks too confident, and Shake on the other end is just not. Matisse Thybulle. I'm not going to continue to pump my chest about it. I mean, we've been saying it all year. But this, you know, I've been hinting at this all year, and I made a tweet last night, and I'm going to live with it, man. Matisse Thybulle is the best young defender I have ever seen with my own 2 eyes. I mean, we knew about this the last couple years. We saw it developing this year. We want the offensive game. But even that, you know, he's starting to cut to the basket. He's hitting a couple shots. 2 for 5. I'll take it, okay? I will take it. But my gosh. In 19 minutes of play, 5 blocks and 4 steals. I mean, that is this dude is a demigod in real life. This dude is like creating a 2K player and literally putting up every defensive slider there is, and just putting it on rookie difficulty and spamming the square button and getting every steal. I mean, it is that good. It is primetime television, and now the rest of the league is starting to be put on notice. But Matisse Thybulle, man, I've never seen anything like it. The dude is just, he just swarms everything. He's amazing. The blocks look way too easy. Chase down, behind the back block. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. He's the best young defender I've ever seen with my eyes. His defense is going to be so valuable in a later playoff series. And he's a great dude, man. He's a great dude. And he's part of the future for this team. If he can continue to knock down that shot, he's going to be so huge. But 4 steals and 5 blocks. I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point. Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, these guys are the future of the team. They make this thing exciting, man. The young pieces like this that can provide a spark right away off the bench. They're great. Now, Furkan Korkmaz at 13 points. I'm going to give him his credit, man. He started off slow, went 4 for 6, though, knocked down his shots, and he was really good, man. So maybe we give him some more run. I know Doc will. And we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But Furkan definitely rebounded from that bad game 1. He knew his minutes were limited. He came in and he knocked down, found his spots. Now, again, the Wizards were just running away with it. But Furkan did his thing. And the cleanup crew came in, man. Paul Reed, Isaiah Joe, Anthony Tolliver, Mike. That's when Anthony Tolliver and Mike Scott come in the game, you know it's literally that bad. But that was pretty much the game, man. The Sixers' absolute domination, up 2-0 in the series. Westbrook might be banged up. Beal's still lingering with something. But it's just that easy, man. We went off on a run. We didn't look back, and we took care of business, made it easier for ourselves. And that's pretty much the gist of it, man. Again, 10 steals and 14 blocks is absolutely insane. They just don't nearly have enough to match us up player by player. That's just my take on it, man. Sixers take the 2-0 lead. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your biggest takeaways from this game? Who were you most impressed with? Give me all your thoughts down below. Is it going to be a sweep? Let me know in the comment section, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And again, thank you for 10K subscribers. We'll be live on Saturday for the game. Appreciate you all. Have a great one. Hit that like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect.